Hello.
Hello, I'm Ed.
I'm Will.
And this is the DC Corner for March the 1st. Today we're going to talk about one book.
Gotham Academy.
Gotham Academy number 5, which is a book we both like.
Yeah, and but I felt that issue 4 was sort of a dragging point where things had started to stagnate. But issue 5 is a delightful change of pace. It's picking things up a bit.
It really does. We've got that meeting with Killer Croc, but he manages to get away, and then they've got to figure out a way to get back to Croc again.
Yep. Oh, and along the way, we have this sort of Ocean's 11 sort of subplot, which was actually pretty entertaining. I've forgotten most of the names of the characters, though. I feel like they sort of fade in the background as compared
Except
to
for characters like Maps.
Yeah, Maps and Olive. They're in the foreground. They're definitely in the foreground, and of course, anybody can remember, Killer Croc.
But they're gathering up the crew for the big adventure here.
Right, and it was definitely entertaining. And they meet one of the Man-Bats along the way.
That's a bit of a surprise here because one of the characters that's been sort of mysterious along the way, turns out he has the Langstrom virus. So he is one of the
Now, I'm
Man-Bats.
unfamiliar with this because I'm used to Ye Old Man-Bat, which is basically a giant bat in pants.
I go back even farther to the first appearance of Man-Bat in comic books way back when they were like 12 and 15 cents, but I get what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, but that was my first exposure, was the, not even the cartoon, the toy from Batman the Animated Series that had Man-Bat, and it was again, bat in shorts. I should look up that toy sometime, I think, because it was really nice.
It really was, but it's sort of surprising who turns out to have the Langstrom virus in here, and he's been...
I wouldn't say it was surprising, per se.
A little.
No, it wasn't, because they've been building up this mysterious boy thing for, like, 3 issues now.
But connecting that point and this point was what I'm talking about.
I guess.
Because you knew something mysterious was going to come
yeah,
up, you just didn't know exactly
I was more surprised by the one teacher being involved, more than anything. That should have had more pomp to it, but I guess because he's a sort of a hanging-on love interest kind of thing, it got more focus. But personally, I would have liked to see the teacher's point of view.
Speaking of which, there is a love backstory here, a little romantic story here, but it's not getting very much play in the main story at all.
And that's my problem. It's not that it exists, and it's not that it takes up too much time, or that it has too... I don't know, it's sort of all of them at once. It's so little that... when in the beginning, when it was good character development and it helped provide backstory, it served its purpose there. But now, because it's so out of focus that when it appears, it distracts. But not only does it take away from wherever it is, like it's in the middle of the Ocean's 11 break-it-through plot. Bleh, I cannot talk today. The Ocean's 11 break-in plot, but it's also in and of itself meager, and therefore I'm interested legitimately in this subplot, but at the same time I feel like if it would get too much time, it would be taken away from everything else, and thus I feel like everything sort of got
thing
cheated
here
there.
is if you took this part of the story out of the book,
it wouldn't have changed anything.
That's it. So we'd love to see it develop more. It's not that it's a bad idea.
I just think it's just that there's so many pages in a book.
Yeah,
and that's sort of my issue with comics, is that you get like half of like a show up to the commercial break every month or so, but I don't know if it.
This is a good one. Obviously, this is where some folks like reading things in trades more than reading single issues, because when you're getting single issues, you just get a bite at a time. You get the trade, you get the whole storyline at once.
Yeah, but not only that, but you have the luxury of developing some things, and I think that if this, I think it's not really much of a trade, not just a trade versus individual issue thing. It's more of they just didn't budget their time well in this issue.
Now, all this being said, it's still a good issue.
I don't know. I mean, they budgeted their time well, but that was like a little hiccup in their time budgeting.
Other than that, a good story.
Yeah, I mean, like, great Killer Croc. I mean,
oh yeah.
You even brought in a joke from the animated series that I really liked with that almost got him episode, but
that's where they were all sitting around the poker table talking about the times that they nearly got the Batman.
Yeah, and he's like, I threw a rock at him. But and honestly, he's an enjoyable character. And
I've never looked at Killer Croc as sympathetic before, but
really,
Not that sympathetic. Right now, he's adorable in this book.
I'm sorry, but he's always been sympathetic. What idiot goes up against Jimmy Olsen? Because you know he's going to develop superpowers at a really inopportune moment, and poor Killer Croc.
I know, but
where was that again?
Oh gosh, that's back a while. But
that was like 3-4 years ago.
But the thing is, I really like Killer Croc in this book. He is an excellent character in here. And
I almost wish they'd bring in
sort of the
more
hidden guys. Are really cool.
Yeah, but I almost wish they would do this more, where they would develop bad guys. Actually, I think this is a failing of Arkham Asylum.
You need to read Secret Six more then.
Well, yeah, I know. But this is a failing of Arkham Asylum, where the villains, they come in for their jokes, but I don't feel like they're developing at all, and we don't really get to see a lot of their personalities.
You know, you got a point there, because with Arkham Asylum, you think the story would be about the asylum. You think it would be about the folks who are there, but really it's more of a...
It's another Batman story.
Yeah, it's a Batman solving a mystery.
And it's not like the jokes aren't funny. I liked Mr. I liked... Dr.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
I almost went like Dr. Freeze.
No,
Mr. Freeze. I have Sonic on the mind, but it's just that I enjoy him throwing a snowball and having the Batmobile leave him in a pile of snow, and I liked the group therapy meeting.
Oh yeah,
where Scarecrow was trying to intervene and act as doctor. But those were only funny, and I feel like they don't really get anywhere as far as characterization, and it feels like that it's more of a comedy to help soften the grim, dark, gritty Batman story.
Whereas Gotham Academy really tends to stand on its own. There's some Batman appearances, but
there's Batman
appearances.
Yes, for once not even just for once. I mean, there were a couple other times I thought the Bruce.
But this time
Batman
it does make sense.
But this time I really felt it was appropriate, even more so than the first issue, where you're doing that. Where I understood with the first issue that you're having that little torch passing. It was like Batman's here just to remind you, hey, it's Batman's.
It's a Batman book, yeah.
But and there was like one other time where I really liked Bruce Wayne. It was a last issue.
Yeah.
Where Bruce was talking to one of some of the staff in another hall, and I thought that was a really nice cameo appearance. But here, I feel like he belongs in the story a little bit now.
I'm jazzed up about what's going to happen in the next issue with this.
Now, I don't want him to take over the book.
No.
But I feel like his appearance here was very good. Overall, this was, if I was going to go through the rating system again, 1, 5, 2, 3, 4. 4 still bottoms the bottom. But overall, other than the really oddly placed romantic subplot, which I would like to see developed, but at a more appropriate time, it was a great issue.
I'd have to say it was a great issue too. This is one DC series we can always recommend. It's one of the better ones that are out there right now, and thankfully it will be continuing after Convergence.
That would have killed me right there, because not really, but. I mean, there's still Bat Knight, and there's still Harley Quinn, and then there's going to be Harley Quinn and Power Girl, which is so. But
that's going to be awesome.
But I would have still been very disappointed to see Gotham Academy go before its time.
You and me both. Now, that does lead into next week, which, by the way, Harley Quinn is out next week.
Nice.
You'll also have Batman Eternal, of course, and Earth 2 and Earth 2 World's End.
Hey, which one was Batman Eternal again?
That's the one where we're sort of sitting a few months away from now, and we still are trying to figure out who the big bad is. We're going through all of the characters, but this is where you get the return of Spoiler. You get
and they had the Mad Hatter that one issue.
Yeah.
I'm with you. There were way too many Bat books to keep track of.
I got to tell you, the Batman Eternal is a really good book. It's one that would be hard to jump into now.
You tried to get me to?
Yeah, it's really hidden toward the end game on it. But it's been an excellent book all the way through. And it's hard to make a good series, but they've done it with Batman Eternal. It's out. Future's End is out. Earth 2 World's End is out.
Future's End. That was with...
This is where we're starting to see Brainiac and the Blood Moon starting to gather everybody together. This is 5 years from now. Yeah, we'll see what it turns out to be. Hopefully it'll be good, but it's not my favorite.
I don't hold out hopes for these reset button stories.
We'll see.
They're just giant reset buttons, and I mean, even if the details aren't predictable, the main big picture always is.
We'll see how it turns out, though. I'll give them a chance here, but Green Arrow comes out, Green Lantern comes out, Harley Quinn number 15 comes out.
Now I gotta ask, is this Green Arrow is it like a trade thing where it's like not trade? Is it like a following? the show, or is it its own continuity? Because I know that we have 2 Flash comics now.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I'm just going by what you have on your Comixology.
It's in the comics. It's in the comics continuity, but it's being written by the TV writer, so it's sort of a mishmash in there.
Right. No, but I was just saying because that was
there also is Flash Season 0, which is in the TV continuity. It's released first on Comixology.
Why would Season 0 be interesting, though?
It actually is. It's sort of set in between the first and second episodes of the show. And
well, then that's not Season 0. That's like Season 1, Episode 1.5.
But they didn't want to say 1.5. But it's the folks behind the TV show that are writing it. Phil Hester's doing most of the artwork. I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm just saying, it's just you can't call it Season 0 if you...
We'll let them call it what they want. But anyhow... Justice League 3000's out.
Is that the Legion?
No.
No. This is the everybody has superpowers, but you get some memories from them and
that kind of thing. And there's a bunch of second printings that are coming out this next week. It's sort of odd. So if you've missed something,
Lobo
number 6.
Is he back?
But not the main man. This is the replacement Lobo that we don't like. Yeah.
Why?
Sorry, I have no idea.
I'm sorry, but I thought no. You told me that they revealed that Skinny Lobo was in fact a fake a year ago, at least. But why is Skinny Lobo still here if he's a fake? I thought that would have been resolved in the storylines.
He's claiming he's the real one now, and that
oh my gosh!
I know.
No,
I've been trying to spare you.
Lobo is the epitome of the extreme versions of the late 80s, early 90s that I grew up in, and because he's that ultimate parody, just so far out there, and because he's so silly, he just loops back around to being awesome.
Which is why I have not been reading this version of Lobo.
I mean, what is he? Is he now a parody of millennials? I actually would like to see that, but I don't doubt they're being that clever.
No, he's not even being a parody anymore. I know.
Lobo was always meant to be a tongue-in-cheek. Now, while it's meant to be series storylines where the main man is doing good,
well, it's like I know.
But it's just like. At its core, it's still tongue-in-cheek, no matter how serious it gets. And why are they doing this?
I don't know. Hopefully,
that's like if you made Danny Phantom into a grim, dark fantasy world, or if you took, say, let me find someone here in the back of my head. If you took the Spectre and made him a lighthearted comedy, or maybe if you took Batman and made him a grim, dark mishmash with some comedy interspersed, like Arkham Asylum.
Well, but. That's why I'm not reading it, or Grayson for that matter, which also comes out this week. But there's another...
Oh no, that's not Grayson. That's Superboy.
Tell me about it. Anyhow, there's going to be some good...
Grayson?
Nightwing.
Why is... Oh, thank goodness. Yeah. I thought we were talking about Superboy for a second.
No. Anyhow, there are some good books coming out this week.
And just to make it clear, I know Superboy... No. I'm talking about the what was his name? The new Tim Drake kid.
You mean... Tim Drake's Red Robin.
Other Tim Drake. The other Tim Drake that's Batman's son.
Oh, Damian.
Yes, Damian.
No.
Yeah,
it was Super Damian.
Yeah, and...
although that's one of the second printings.
And you know what? If that dog's not Ace, he's Crypto. The only thing that's good out of that out of the comics is Batcow.
You know, we're talking about Titus versus Ace, and I'll go with Ace as well. Anyhow, guys, lots of good books coming up, believe it or not, this week.
Just Gotham Academy. Read Gotham Academy and Harley Quinn reading Power
Harley Quinn
and Bizarro and Batmite.
And we'll be talking about Harley Quinn and maybe a couple more next week on DC Corner.
Just anything but Arkham Asylum.